Arab, they all have one thing in common: that indisputable Disney magic.
Hey, that's pretty sweet.
What inspires the artists and gives these two-dimensional drawings the spark of life? As early as 1937, with the production of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Walt Disney was encouraging his animators to study live-action models to ensure that facial expressions and movements would be realistic. In his search for the perfect face for Dopey, animator Ward Kimball looked in the burlesque theater and found comedian Eddie Collins.
He had the world's widest mouth, and his face was like rubber. And all he had to do, as a short guy about 5 feet high, was walk on the stage with his baggy pants and make his tongue. This tongue used to come down, I swear, 12, 14 inches. And everybody just fall over laughing.
In creating the evil stepmother in Cinderella, animator Frank Thomas found inspiration in the performance of the actress who recorded the character's voice.
Working around our odd lady was the novel for the stepmother and discussing how she should do a scene so she wasn't dominant, authoritative personality. It scared me.
When the subject is four-legged, Disney animators have been known to trek to Africa for an up-close and personal view, or to bring the animals right into the studio. When Jeremy Irons put his heart and soul into the performance of Scar in The Lion King, animator Andreas Deja found yet another source of inspiration.
There's a quality there in his face that I really like, that I want to capture. He's got very baggy eyes, there's a darkness around his eyes, there's a long upper lip, which gives it that British attitude thing.
Yeah, I've seen too much. I had assumed, I think a lot of the general public assumed, the picture is drawn, and then the actor comes along and puts the words to that picture. I hadn't realized that the actor is often the inspiration for the picture. An animator can also find what he's looking for right in his own backyard.
I ended up basing a lot of Jasmine on my younger sister. And I carry a picture of her in my wallet, so I pulled that out, put it up on my desk, and started making sketches. And at that point, she really kind of came to life. I just held on for dear life to her long black ponytail.
Sometimes inspiration can require a change of scenery. While doing research in Jamestown, the historical setting for Pocahontas, animator Glenn Keane had the good fortune to meet two Native American women who were descendants of Pocahontas.
As I was talking to these two girls, I found that somewhere in between their two personalities, there was Pocahontas.
In Disney's Toy Story, the first completely computer-animated feature, the lead characters are neither human nor animal. They are toys. And director John Lasseter says that's precisely where he got his inspiration.
Every animator in his heart is a toy nut. You walk around Pixar, you walk around Disney for that matter, and it's like every desk practically is filled with toys.
One of Lasseter's boyhood favorites, G.I. Joe, was the model for Buzz Lightyear, an updated version of the classic action figure.
2 tablespoons of unsalted butter and 1 teaspoon of salt. In a saucepan over medium heat. Out of the oven, and it smells so good. The cinnamon, the apples, the caramel. Let's put all these things together. So first, I want to go ahead and add the caramel right on top. I went ahead and kept this caramel warm, and that's why we didn't add a ton of sugar to either the topping or the filling, because this is really going to give us that sweetness. Take a nice portion from here. Oh man, apples have baked so nicely. How gorgeous is that? And you can see the tapioca starch really kept all of those juices together. Let's get a nice scoop of ice cream, of course, right on top. And of course, more caramel. Tell me that it's not the most beautiful, welcoming dessert you have ever seen. Well, now, all that's left to do is eat.
He doesn't fight evil or shoot lasers or fly. Excuse me.
Oh, impressive wingspan.
Now, Walt Disney Studios.
Head to Iowa to meet a soy grower who has been on a quest to improve his soil for decades, and whose land is now a welcoming home for wildlife. But first, let's go inside the Atlanta Community Food Bank's new facility, where farmers and the community come together in the fight against hunger.
Is bringing their result is a richly detailed, heartfelt version of Victor Hugo's classic tale.
You're not hurt, are you?
No!
See? No harm done. By the way, great mask.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame introduces Quasimodo. If I picked a day to fly, this would be it. A character so extraordinary that animator Marshall Toomey looked no further than the Hunchback himself for inspiration.
He is the focus of the movie, which is what's ugly and what's not ugly. That's pretty much what we're going to pull off here. So the ugly is not ugly at all. He's one of the most beautiful people in the world. That's who he is and what he does.
And so, whether it comes from personal experience, keen observation, or the story itself, inspiration is the key to creating those memorable moments which continue to make us believe in fairy godmothers, talking toys, and lovable characters.
What are the odds of the sharper image? Continental Airlines grand destinations, Royal Caribbean Cruises, and FTD all having a sale at exactly the same time. Actually, they're quite good. Presenting master values from MasterCard. Immediate savings at places all over right now. Exclusively for people who use MasterCard.
Her smile can't stop the
On March 11th, about 48 hours later or less, everything started to shut down.
The pandemic really erupted, shut down the economy, and we saw an unprecedented spike in demand as a result of that economic shutdown.
After meeting the immediate needs during the early days of COVID, the new expanded food bank was able to increase partnerships with local farmers. From farms like this, managed by Rahul Anand, comes the fresh produce upon which the food bank relies.
Being able to feed people does really create a sense of pride. It's you can do all kinds of things, but at the end of the day, everybody's got to eat, and being able to produce the thing that they eat is really great. Having the opportunity to work with places like the Atlanta Community Food Bank is, a real benefit to operations like mine. So, being able to expand and have partners who can, help me do that, and I can help out as well, puts me in a position to, pay staff reasonable wages, expand, and then get to a point where we're profitable enough to then donate produce to some of these organizations as well.
Other farmers in rural Georgia, like this watermelon grower, donate imperfect food to the food bank. Food that is perfectly edible, but may not look good enough for a grocery store shelf. That prevents waste and bolsters the food bank's offering of fresh fruits and vegetables. Back at the food bank's loading docks where the fresh produce arrives, there's a certain kind of energy. Volunteers are almost never in short supply. Staff members take pride in their work.
To create a lot of meals for the community, it's beautiful.
And when Kyle Wade and Deborah Schoaf look to the future, they see opportunity. The chance to grow and bring food security to their neighbors living in the tree-covered communities of North Georgia.
We've got